Have you seen the film The Dish? Have you seen the poster art for the film The Dish? This is an all Australian panel, so this is perfect. So back in 1990, I want to say 1999, maybe 2000.
2001, I think.
2001, perfect. So around that time, a film was released in Australia. We've got a small film industry here, but the government supports it. And, like I'm sure most countries have like a small film industry. And so there were a few of the bigger names of Australian film in this film, and it was heavily publicised. The guys who made it were well known for a weekly TV so-called comedy that they used to have on TV. So this was not some art house film. This was a big film by Australian standards. And it was about the moon landings and the role that Australia had played, because there's these big satellite dishes in Parkes, which is New South Wales, I believe. And so Australia had to help relay the satellite transmission for the moon landings. And so this film is about all of that. And the poster artwork for this film called The Dish, what does it show you? It shows you a bunch of sheep in a paddock watching a TV, and what's on the TV? The moon landings. So they've literally got sheep watching the TV moon landings as their poster art. And again, I say to people, short of the president jumping on stage and reading his teleprompter and saying it was all fake, short of that, how much more blatant could they be? How much more blatant could they be? What more do you want?
Yeah. Well, in a lot of ways, we see so much of it being rubbed in our faces, But
is it being, I hate to interrupt you there, Nightly, but is it being rubbed in our faces, which is what I used to believe. I used to believe that. And now I think, and my explanation now isn't mutually exclusive from the rubbed in their faces. You can do both at the same time. It's like you can simultaneously rub it in the faces of the lemming masses, which is most of them, but at the same time help those of us who are open-minded to see, hold on a second here, they're taking the piss. This is a joke. Do you see what I'm trying to say? You can do both at the same time. Those of us who are willing to look at the poster art and consider that maybe this is not just, I mean, why the hell would they even put that stuff there anyway? But whatever rationalization you can come up with, it's not just that. Maybe there's some other purpose to it, which is kind of putting it there for those of us eyes to see, while simultaneously saying, oh, and if you won't notice what we just put in front of your face, well, the joke's on you, yeah, goddamn lemming, because how much more obvious can we make it? See what I'm trying to say? Like two at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. I agree.
Interesting. So Vela Set, we'll go to you there. What were we talking about? We were talking about, nobody died or got hurt. What's your opinion on this? When were you first exposed to it? And tell us what you think.
Nobody died, nobody got hurt. That's a fact.
Perfect. I knew that was coming. Knew it was coming. Walk straight into it.
If anyone, for any reason at all, claims that anybody died or got hurt, they are a spiritual murderer. They are a liar. That's a fact.
I don't know when I was exposed to the idea, but it probably would have been the Vixim report shortly after September Clues, I would say. Once I'd sort of started to put together that, all those names weren't real people, they were just, simulated photos. And I did my due diligence and checked a lot of those photos, and I could see what guys like Hoi Polloi were getting at, that it's more the pattern analysis in that library of photos that indicates they're just like an image pool being generated. That sort of confirmed it for me. And then I guess my understanding of that was solidified as sort of in the past year, sort of once I've understood what a big theatre production this is, that, it seems unlikely that life would actually be lost.
And so when was this? When did you first sort of encounter the Vixim report and these kinds of things? Do you remember when that was?
September Clues and the Vixim report would have been April, May 2016.
Wow. So still not that long, like in the grand scheme of things, relatively recently.
Yeah, well, my whole sort of journey started, I guess, at the start of 2016, and by mid-2016 it was in full swing.
Wow, that's it's funny to think, isn't it? That's not a very long space of time to go from 3,000 people died at the hands of a boogeyman mastermind. He's a mastermind in a cave in the Middle East somewhere, to nobody died, nobody got hurt in the space of a couple of shift, isn't it?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's phenomenal stuff.